What's happening, FlowChat Connector? In this video, we're going to talk about the power of personalization and actually how to personalize direct messages that will serve you in your business as you want to grow as we move forward. Stay tuned. This one's going to be a banger. Let's get it. What's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Hope you're doing really well today. Make sure and smash that like button. Share this out to somebody who needs to get better at sales. And of course, as we go through this, if you find a lot of value in this, please smash that subscribe button, the big red one, and turn the notifications on. Would love to have you as a continued viewer. In fact, I think like 8% of you people listening right now are not subscribed to the channel. So just click that button. I would love that. Today, we're going to talk about the power of personalization in your DMs. DMs are a very, very valuable tool. They're one of four major ways that you can communicate with a person, right? So we have phone calls, which typically, if you get a call from spam risk, your buddy, you're not going to answer. Secondly, if you get a text message, they have high open rates, but not the highest click-through rates because they don't have a second layer of like checking on it, redundancy as we call that. Thirdly, you've got email marketing. Big updates in the email marketing space. Apple just came out with this thing called MPP. It's Mail Protection Privacy. And what it does is it's basically killed the metric of open rates as an email provider. So if your email provider, the person that you're doing, if you have an agency that's writing emails for you and they come back and they push, well, look at your open rates, they're enormous. The metric doesn't exist anymore because Apple's MPP program, what it's done is when you send an email out, it automatically opens that as if the person opened it, but it doesn't release the IP address. So it gives your autoresponder a false reading on an open and it doesn't count. So if you are doing email marketing, which is the third out of four, don't use open rates anymore. Doesn't even make sense to look at that metric moving forward. And lastly is the DMs, and that's where we're going to get into it, right? So like how and why do we personalize the DMs? So a couple of reasons that it's important. But first of all, we got to understand why personalization. Well, personalization is truly beneficial and very, very, very important. See, I recently read about this study, and it says just by putting someone's name into your message will increase the open rate by 26% in the DMs. That's insane, right? And why? Why does this happen? Well, because it triggers an emotional response. Your name is the most used word in your language typically. When you hear it, it's appealing to the ear. Of course, there are rare circumstances, like in my case, my name can be pronounced different ways in different countries. That always used to be a thing with me growing up, but most people don't have that with their name if you have one of the names that are easy to pronounce. And whenever you hear that name, you immediately like, whoa, it's a pattern interrupt. Someone said your name. That's going to trigger an emotional response. Secondly, personalization boosts engagement and loyalty. It helps to build a bridge of connection. So when somebody says your name in a DM, that typically means they've taken a little bit more time. They probably did the right research and they're moving forward. So again, the science proves all of this. And then lastly, it makes them feel seen and valued, right? If you're coming back to somebody and saying, that was just an incredible post, you could say that and someone would feel good about that. But if you said, that was an incredible post, Joe, now Joe feels like a rock star because he's like, oh my God, he recognized that I made an incredible post and he tagged my name to it. That makes me look cool. And that's why personalization matters. Let's talk about personalizing with FlowChat. Obviously, I'm one of the co-founders of FlowChat. FlowChat is the system for DMs. In fact, we've redesigned the way people DM for business. And one of the ways that you can tailor your message in a software like ours, there's several of them out there, is you can put in these things, these variables, right? Like in a variable would be a first name, or it would be an affiliate link, or it would be an interest or a business name or something like that. And so a lot of the tech out there that's not including FlowChat has this ability is you can put in a personalized, a variable that will call out their name. It will call out whatever. And so this is a simple way of how you can personalize very quickly with FlowChat. Secondly, tailored content suggestions, right? So one of the things that we talk about in messaging is looking at your message. Does it resonate? Does this thing say exactly what it needs to say? When we're sending a first message to somebody in the DMs, the number one thing that you can send to somebody is a compliment if you're trying to get engagement. I did another breakdown of the 4 hinge points of a DM conversation, and the first hinge point is to get engagement. That means you send a message. Did they engage by replying back to you, or did they not? That's the only thing we need to be thinking about. Too many people, when they go to DM, they try to sell in the first message. That might work in an email strategy, might work in a funnel strategy, a sales strategy, some other place. It does not work in the DMs unless your prospect that you're DMing is hyper aware of what you're doing, right? So awareness level does play a kind of role in that. And the nice piece is FlowChat actually gives you this AI message composer. If you see the purple button on the screen there, that AI message composer allows you to get very customized and specific using ChatGPT's abilities to build a message that's very warm and contextual. Like, one of the things that I've been hearing a lot in the AI space, is I'm a hound dog in it, is they say, create a voice. And in fact, I found a prompt, and I did another video on how to make it sound like your voice. Go back and find that one in our collection here. But we talk about how you can create your own voice with your own tone, the vocabulary, the paragraphs, the way that is written. And when you have that set up and you're using the power of AI at your fingertips to do DMs, it becomes really, really simple for you to create these dynamic messages. Next, we want to track, right? So tracking in personalization is so valuable. We can understand open rates and response times. We can tweak a message and look at that again and see what's working and what's not working. We can refine based on feedback loops. There's 2 words from Japan that are really important: ikigai, which means live the life that you love, and kaizen, which is something that I talk about and teach about all the time, is just getting 1% better in your messaging, right? Dan Martell, one of the best of all times. If you're listening to this, I love you. He runs SaaS Academy, right? He's very, very powerful, good SaaS person, software as a service coach. And he talks about looking for small efficiencies across a big scale. So if you find 1% here, 3% there, 5% here, you can boost the overall by 100% plus, as long as you're looking for those small inefficiencies. FlowChat, as you can see here, has those types of metric tracking. You can see here our first messages, we sent over 32,000, almost 33,000 of them. 15% of those people said, yes, I want to join your Facebook group. That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty good number. The benchmark there for an initial first message and engagement, if you're inviting someone to your Facebook group, should be anywhere between 15 to 40%, right? And then you can look at how well the rest of your DM messaging sequence is flowing inside of FlowChat. That's why we built this tracking and metrics the way that it works. Lastly, you can evolve with your audience's preferences, right? You can see the numbers. I track ours week to week to week. I teach our clients to track theirs week to week to week. And I show them how to dive in and fix something that needs to be adjusted, right? And you can see with metrics, right? We always are data driven. You should be data driven. If you're not data driven, just get used to it, get into it, learn to love the numbers. I know it's sometimes difficult to do that, but I will encourage you to keep pushing and doing that, because you're going to do a lot better if you do. This allows you to track how well your personalization is working. And I wanted to touch quickly on the next frontier of where we're going. It's where hyper-personalization actually meets automation. And if you remember Kennedy saying, we stand today on the edge of a new frontier, friends, AI is the next frontier. If you didn't know it, if you don't believe it, please get that false belief out of your head, or hear the words that I'm saying right now, because AI is going to change our entire world. It's only getting better and better and better and better and better. Don't be threatened by it, because there's always a place for humanization. We believe at FlowChat that humanization is the number one thing we need to stay focused on. A lot of businesses and companies are building AI tools that dehumanize the process. And when you do that, people going to buy your stuff, it feels cold to them, and we don't want to do that, right? So The nice piece about where we're going with AI and what we're doing is we're allowing AI, because it's more intelligent than humans, to go in, or if it's not yet, it soon will be, to go in and adapt responses based on user input, so we can start seeing some of that data. It allows us to streamline processes while retaining the genuineness, right? That we can streamline it with the right message, but still keep that humanization element in there. And lastly, it's we have an AI driven approach. So we've put AI in multiple different places from the messaging side of the house within FlowChat, but we've also included some new AI tech that's going to come out and be very revolutionary. We're in talks right now with some really cool organizations that are doing some amazing stuff when it comes to outbound sales. And so with that said, again, I think the key to remember is being personal in your messages is going to go so much further than if you're just trying to spam people with the same message over and over and over. So throw the name in there. Pro tip here, if you're DMing, don't say, hey, name or name. Do not say that in the first 2 words of your message. If you do, you'll be like everybody else. The pro tip here is write your first sentence, comma, first name at the end of your first sentence, because just like emails, headlines are the things that get people to open them. Headlines in your DMs, also the same thing. So if you're looking at your inbox on any social and you have all the list of people that are sending you messages and you look underneath their name, you can see the first couple of words in their message. That's like a headline for an email. It's the headline for a DM. So we don't want to say, hey, Sean, because then the next one below it says, hey, Sean. And the next one below it says, hey, Sean, hey, Sean, hey, Sean, hey, Sean. Everybody's doing the same thing. Just be different. Don't say, hey, first name. Rather say, your post is awesome, Sean. That's a way better way to engage. So a little pro tip there. And last little give for you guys, because you've been so gracious to watch and continue watching the content that I continue to put out here, because I hope it's valuable for you. I wanted to do a little give. We actually recently combined, we went through we have reviewed and analyzed over 350,000 direct message conversations, and we distilled it down to a 79-page document that lays out the exact DM scripts that we used to create $2 million in revenue in 10 months. And if you want that, all you got to do is go to scripts.flowchat.com. Again, scripts.flowchat.com, and put in your information, and we'll email this document right over to you. It's a really big document. That's why we couldn't just give it to you. And we want that to be in your inbox. And P.S., there's a couple of surprises that'll appear thereafter. And of course, I have to share that with you because that'll be awesome. But with that said, you guys have just been tuned up. Remember, personalization is so very valuable, so very important in your world. And head over to scripts.flowchat.com, see how we do it. It might be something that you can use in your space. With that said, I can't wait to see you next time. But until then, ciao for now.